The flood is coming, and it is imminent, and we can see with the financial crisis and the imminent collapse, which is about to come right in front of us, will give us these are opportunities for us now to do things. So we have to seize the moment.
I said my intention is just to put the economy on a sound basis, because at the moment it's drowning in usury, and it will destroy itself.
Because the fact is that the pounds in your pocket are very definitely not what they appear to be. What they claim to be is a simple medium of exchange. You hand over some pounds and get a bag of rice in return. Their reality, however, is something very different to this. What they really are is not so much a medium of exchange as a means of control.
For example, when Labour came into power in 1997, the national debt was less than £350 billion, which seems like quite a lot, but now it's over £910 billion. The interest on the national debt just in this current year will be £30 billion.
The total value of the yearly sales of real goods everywhere in the world changes hand on the money markets every single day. There would not be enough paper to make so much money, even if all the timber on the planet was used to do it. And if the notes to make such a sum were placed one on top of the other, the pile would reach beyond the moon.
This paper is only worth the paper it's printed on. You know, where it says $1 or $100, it doesn't really matter. It's just a fancy design and a figure. It doesn't mean anything.
It would seem like some kind of mad joke, were the effects not so desperately serious for individual human beings and nations, and indeed the planet as a whole. There is no person on the earth who does not now live and die in debt, whether they know it or not.
If the Muslims do not move over to gold and silver, they're going to go down with the ship.
An infinitesimal small percentage of the world's population, who are virtually unknown, but who themselves know how to manipulate the situation, can skim billions off the top of the money mountain and wield wealth and power to an extent never conceived of before in the whole of human history.
I was at a Financial Times conference on Islamic finance last November, and they had very eloquent speakers. They had one of the main speakers from the UBS, which is one of the main banks in Geneva. He said, look, let's face it, Islamic banking is just a veneer. He said, beneath all this publicity, it's based on a raft of financial instruments which are not Sharia compliant, i.e. they're haram. And those in turn are based on another raft of financial instruments which are not Sharia compliant.
But there's nothing we can do about it, I hear people say. We have no other alternative. That is no longer true. We do have a choice. There is something that we can do, but that something can only be found within the parameters of a functioning Muslim community. Islam alone is now able to uphold the authority of divinely revealed law and provide the means for cutting through the magical deception of the usurer's all-enveloping web.
In the last 200 years, we've found that this paper money experiment has gone horribly wrong, and even the most intelligent kuffar are now saying this. They're saying it doesn't work. Go back to gold and silver.
The gold dinar will put economic power back into the hands of ordinary men and women where it belongs.
Board the ship of the Sunnah and be rescued by it. And as far as economics is concerned, the gold and the silver is the answer. This gold dinar is the answer. This silver dirham is the answer.
This is Islam in practice. This is divine guidance in action. What you see is what you get.
These were minted back in the last century, back in about 1995, I think. At that time, this gold dinar you could buy for £35. Now, if I want to sell it, it's £135, paper money. But really, if I'm honest, I said I wouldn't take all the paper money in the world.
All the crimes of all the criminals in the world added together do not amount to the enormity of the crime that they daily commit through their continued application of the usury system. The pollution of the ocean is their achievement. The poisoning of the earth is the result of their programs. The toxic air of the world's megacities is the direct result of their existence. The millions of dead caused by the sporadic uprising across the globe of the poor driven from their land, who in abject misery turn on their neighbours, the world's poor scavenging on rubbish tips are to them an unfortunate side effect of their monetary policies.
Allah says in the Quran, Allah and His Messenger have made war on riba. Now, who has won any war against Allah and His Messenger? No one. No one has won that war. Whatever war you're talking of, Allah and His Messenger have always been victorious. If they hadn't been victorious, we wouldn't be sitting here today.
So this thing is not going to happen overnight, but it requires our participation and it requires urgent action. So on a step-by-step basis, what in fact needs to happen is that there needs to be availability of gold and silver from city to city, town by town, in the whole of the United Kingdom, so that we have the availability of people that can transact and they can exchange their paper, their worthless paper, into valuable gold and silver, which is protected by time.